Chapter 40, A Druid's Fury. The colossal black spider, its leg impaled by William's earlier earth spike, shrieked a high-pitched, metallic cry of pain and fury. The monster tried to pull free, but William wasn't finished. His eyes, glowing a fierce emerald green, focused on the forest floor. Dozens of thick, rope-like roots shot from the earth, wrapping around the spider's remaining 7 legs. The roots were reinforced with pure mana, digging into the creature's fuzzy hide and cinching tight. The spider was pinned, struggling violently, but unable to move its massive body forward. The creature managed to spit a glob of viscous, green acidic venom aimed directly at William. Before the venom could connect, a crystalline layer of hardened bark rapidly formed over William's body. The acid splattered harmlessly against the shield, sizzling for a moment before evaporating. The spider was desperate now, unable to move and low on options. It lunged its remaining free foreleg, attempting to pierce William with its venomous claw. William struck the ground, and a massive, rock-hard fist of earth rose up, smashing the foreleg mid-strike. The sound of cracking chitin echoed as the spider's appendage broke. The monster was defeated, immobilized, and broken, but still alive and thrashing. Sarah, Abigail, and Mona, battered and bruised, watched in stunned silence. They had never seen William fight, let alone in such a powerful, controlled transformation. Elizabeth, shaken but seeing the monster helpless, suddenly remembered her own power. She threw open the carriage door and stepped out, her face pale but resolute. The fire crest on her hand glowed a vibrant orange, drawing heat from the air. She took a deep breath, channeling the power of Ifrit. A searing wave of concentrated fire erupted from her outstretched hand. The flames were hotter and purer than any normal fire, focused on the immobile spider. The monster's thick carapace immediately turned brittle, then melted, and the creature was consumed in a blazing pyre, its unholy shrieks abruptly silenced. The heat was intense, forcing William to lower his head against it, but within moments, the A-class monster was reduced to ash and smoke. William returned to his normal form, his silver hair dusted with ash, but otherwise unharmed. He rushed over to the others. "Are you all right?" he asked, his voice now ragged with concern. Sarah was the first to answer, pushing herself up with a wince. "We're alive. That thing was an absolute monster." She had deep purple bruising on her arm where the spider had clipped her, and her clothes were singed, but she was fine. Mona was nursing a twisted ankle, and Abigail had several cuts and scrapes from being knocked into the underbrush, but everyone had survived. A few cuts and bruises, but no life-threatening injuries. The party gathered around Elizabeth, who was trembling, both from the adrenaline and the sheer power she had just wielded. "You saved us, Elizabeth," Sarah said, her voice filled with respect. "And William, thank the gods you came when you did." William knelt and gently checked the panicked, web-bound horses. Using his druid magic, he dissolved the sticky web with a light application of plant-based solvent magic and soothed the horses' fear. He quickly used a specialized repair spell to mend the structural damage to the carriage, making it perfectly usable again. "House of Vane won't get their sacrifice today," William muttered under his breath, knowing the attack was no coincidence. The entire party was shaken, but they knew they couldn't linger. After the quick repairs, William made a firm decision. "I won't leave you all to travel the rest of the way alone," he declared. Not after that. William remounted his horse and insisted on accompanying Elizabeth, Sarah, and the entire party. He rode at the head of the group, his senses extended and vigilant, his powerful presence a clear deterrent to any other lurking threats. He rode with them until they reached the clear boundary where the dense forest ended and the safer, cultivated land began. "You should be safe from here," William said, pulling his horse to a stop. "The path to the capital is well-traveled now, but please, send word the moment you arrive." Elizabeth leaned out of the carriage window, her eyes shining with gratitude and a fierce, new affection. "I will, William," You saved me again, thank you. For everything. She smiled, the sight of her fire crest an assurance that she was far more than just a noble lady. With a nod, William watched them go, his heart finally settling into a steady rhythm. The threat had been real, the danger immense, but he had protected his own. The world was dangerous, but he was prepared to fight for his future. Chapter 41, The Wedding Day. A few weeks after the attack, William received a private letter from Duke Hamilton. The Duke confirmed William's suspicions. He had sent spies to investigate the House of Vane and found they were indeed responsible for the carriage attack. The spider was being controlled by a monster tamer, the Duke wrote. However, no one in this kingdom is strong enough to control an A-class monster. So they may be responsible, but they're not the mastermind behind the attack. William thought this over. The only group with the power and the motivation to try and cause him harm, and potentially use a demon-controlled A-class monster, were the demons. He felt a cold dread at the possibility that a powerful demon was working behind the scenes. The letter continued, assuring him the Duke was gathering more concrete evidence to legally proceed against House of Vane. Following the incident, there was no more movement from the demons or any further threats to William or Elizabeth. Years of preparation. A few years passed quietly. William diligently improved his land, working the earth and expanding the borders of the Fern Village Manor. He had even found 2 gold mines in the mountains, vastly improving his wealth and stabilizing the region. King William officially retired to Fern Village, living in a quiet cottage close to the manor. He regularly visited Samantha and Olivia, enjoying the peace and becoming a familiar, gentle presence in their lives. The village itself had become more open, growing into a small, pleasant town due to the manor's influence and the stability William provided. The wedding was now only 1 month away. They had decided to hold the ceremony at the capital before Elizabeth would formally move to their home in Fern Village. William and his family were currently getting ready to travel to the capital. As the carriages moved through the familiar forest, a familiar, shadowy figure started walking parallel to them along the tree line. It was the same shadowy figure that had appeared on the day William received his blessing from Víðarr, the previous god of the forest. The figure paused, staring at the carriages as they left, and spoke in a cold, echoing whisper. You delayed our plans, but soon Thwysis, the god of death and destruction, will soon walk this earth and take revenge. William and his family safely made it to the capital and began the final preparations. William, Samantha, Olivia, and Sarah all went to a master tailor to have their wedding clothes made. William was fitted for an exquisite suit, a deep black coat and trousers cut in a sleek, modern style, but interwoven with fine silver thread that subtly caught the light. The silver detailing symbolized his connection to the moonlight and his druid powers, giving him a look of solemn, natural nobility. Samantha, Sarah, and Olivia wore matching dresses, designed to complement William and symbolize their family unity. The fabric was a rich, forest green, shimmering with intricate copper thread detailing in the bodice and skirt. They wore copper-colored satin bows at their waist and in their hair. The colors, green for the forest, copper for the earth's bounty, honored William's domain and their life in Fern Village. On the day of the wedding, the temple was filled with people. William stood at the altar, a nervous but handsome figure in his silver-threaded suit, waiting for his bride. The priest was giving a sermon on the god of love and passion, bestowing her blessing on the couple. The doors opened, and Elizabeth began to walk down the aisle. She wore a stunning white dress lined with delicate diamonds and frills. Her long, golden hair was braided and styled in an elegant bun beneath a sheer white veil that covered her face but still allowed her beauty to be somewhat visible. William thought she was breathtakingly beautiful. As she stood in front of William, just as the proceedings were about to begin, the temple doors opened again. Víðarr, the current goddess of the forest, entered the room. The runes on her magnificent antlers glowed brightly, and the crowd gasped in astonishment. She walked directly to Elizabeth and placed her staff lightly on her forehead, much like Víðarr had done for William years ago. Elizabeth's chest gently glowed, and 3 glowing, amber runes appeared around her heart, similar to William's own. Víðarr then spoke, her voice resonant and clear. "I bless this union between the guardian and the forest, William and Elizabeth." William took Elizabeth's hand. He held his hand over the floor, and in a remarkable display of his magic, a small tree began forming from the polished wood. It swirled upward and wrapped around Elizabeth's finger, solidifying into a simple, beautiful wooden ring. He then used his plant magic to weave a magnificent crown of living flowers and gently placed it on her head, whispering, "To my queen of the forest." William then gently lifted her veil and leaned in for a kiss to finish the ritual. Víðarr smiled. A kiss seals their fates and lives together. These two are now one. Live happy and guard what's most precious to you. Suddenly, the large, ornate door to the temple burst open with a deafening crash. A tall, shadowy figure slowly entered the room. The ground where he stepped instantly began to decay and rot, turning the pristine wood black and crumbling. Víðarr turned, her face immediately set in a grim expression. She then spoke, her voice filled with ancient challenge. "Thwysis, why are you here?" Chapter 42, Final Battle. Thwysis, the shadowy figure, slowly walked toward William and Elizabeth, the marble beneath his feet crumbling to dust. "You killed my champion," Thwysis rasped, his voice a dry, echoing whisper. "You took away what's precious to me and filled it with all this disgusting life. I have come to reclaim what is mine, and I'm starting with the guardian that killed my champion." Víðarr immediately spoke up, stepping forward. "Thwysis, you know you cannot take action yourself in this world. You can only select champions to fulfill your wishes." Thwysis sounded annoyed. "I've tried, but they're all weak and useless. It would be a lot easier if I just manifested and took matters into my own hands." Víðarr positioned herself directly in front of William and Elizabeth. "I will not allow you to proceed with this. You are upsetting the balance of this world, and you will pay the price, Thwysis." She slammed her staff on the ground. A massive wave of earthen and plant energy erupted, dividing the room and creating a protective barrier of thick, interwoven vines and stone between the guests and Thwysis. "Everyone needs to leave," William shouted to the scattered wedding attendees. "These pathetic plants can't hold me," Thwysis sneered, dragging his bony, clawed hand across the wood and vine barrier, which instantly began to decay and rot into black dust. Víðarr turned to William and Elizabeth, her eyes wide with urgency. "Run. Thwysis has fully manifested himself in this world, and he's a lot stronger than me. I will not be able to hold him off for long." William and Elizabeth fled out the side door and into the street, mingling with the other guests who were scattering in panic. "Mother," William yelled, "take Olivia and Elizabeth and get somewhere safe. This thing is not going to stop." Sarah, now ready for battle, skidded to a stop and threw a weapon toward William, the mithril sword that had been passed down to him by his father. Sarah looked at William with a mix of terror and grim determination. "Have you ever fought a god before?" William managed a strained laugh. "Not recently." Suddenly, Leo appeared, joining Sarah. Mona was also close and quickly positioned herself alongside Sarah and William. "Where is Abigail?" Sarah asked, looking around frantically. "I don't know. We got split up in the confusion," Mona replied. "Here, use your bow," Sarah said, tossing her weapon. "We have a wedding crasher to take care of." As they fixed to leave, Elizabeth grabbed William's hand, her fire crest glowing faintly. "William," she said, her voice steady. "We are one now, and I bear the same runes as you do. Let me go with you and help stop this god of death and decay." William was conflicted. He didn't want to allow her into such danger, but he knew her unique fire magic, fueled by Ifrit, could be a valuable asset. "Okay, Elizabeth," William agreed, sealing their decision with a nod. Their small, formidable party was now ready. William, Elizabeth, Sarah, Mona, and Leo. They gathered to take on a god. The vine wall erupted, Víðarr was thrown violently out of the temple and onto the street. William ran over to check on her. She looked at William, her strength visibly drained. I've held him as long as I can, and I have weakened him some. Try your best to protect this world. I have to go now and regain some of my strength. Víðarr then faded out, her essence retreating into the life force of the world. Thwysis emerged from the crumbling building. A futile attempt from that little deer to try and stop me. Shall we begin, William? William didn't hesitate. He roared and instantly shifted into his druid transformation. The battle began. William charged, clashing his mithril sword against the god's decaying claw. The sword, blessed with life magic, resisted the rot, but the impact sent tremors through William's arm. Chapter 42, Final Battle. Thwysis, the shadowy figure, slowly walked toward William and Elizabeth, the marble beneath his feet crumbling to dust. You killed my champion, Thwysis rasped, his voice a dry, echoing whisper. You took away what's precious to me and filled it with all this disgusting life. I have come to reclaim what is mine, and I'm starting with the guardian that killed my champion. Víðarr immediately spoke up, stepping forward. Thwysis, you know you cannot take action yourself in this world. You can only select champions to fulfill your wishes. Thwysis sounded annoyed. I've tried, but they're all weak and useless. It would be a lot easier if I just manifested and took matters into my own hands. Víðarr positioned herself directly in front of William and Elizabeth. I will not allow you to proceed with this. You are upsetting the balance of this world, and you will pay the price, Thwysis. She slammed her staff on the ground. A massive wave of earthen and plant energy erupted, dividing the room and creating a protective barrier of thick, interwoven vines and stone between the guests and Thwysis. Everyone needs to leave, William shouted to the scattered wedding attendees. These pathetic plants can't hold me, Thwysis sneered, dragging his bony, clawed hand across the wood and vine barrier, which instantly began to decay and rot into black dust. Víðarr turned to William and Elizabeth, her eyes wide with urgency. Run. Thwysis has fully manifested himself in this world, and he's a lot stronger than me. I will not be able to hold him off for long. William and Elizabeth fled out the side door and into the street, mingling with the other guests who were scattering in panic. Mother, William yelled, take Olivia and Elizabeth and get somewhere safe. This thing is not going to stop. Sarah, now ready for battle, skidded to a stop and threw a weapon toward William, the mithril sword that had been passed down to him by his father. Sarah looked at William with a mix of terror and grim determination. Have you ever fought a god before? William managed a strained laugh. Not recently. Suddenly, Leo appeared, joining Sarah. Mona was also close and quickly positioned herself alongside Sarah and William. Where's Abigail? Sarah asked, looking around frantically. I don't know. We got split up in the confusion, Mona replied. Here, use your bow, Sarah said, tossing her weapon. We have a wedding crasher to take care of. As they fixed to leave, Elizabeth grabbed William's hand, her fire crest glowing faintly. William, she said, her voice steady. We are one now, and I bear the same runes as you do. Let me go with you and help stop this god of death and decay. William was conflicted. He didn't want to allow her into such danger, but he knew her unique fire magic, fueled by Ifrit, could be a valuable asset. Okay, Elizabeth, William agreed, sealing their decision with a nod. Their small, formidable party was now ready. William, Elizabeth, Sarah, Mona, and Leo. They gathered to take on a god. The vine wall erupted. Víðarr was thrown violently out of the temple and onto the street. William ran over to check on her. She looked at William, her strength visibly drained. I've held him as long as I can, and I have weakened him some. Try your best to protect this world. I have to go now and regain some of my strength. Víðarr then faded out, her essence retreating into the life force of the world. Thwaisis emerged from the crumbling building. A futile attempt from that little deer to try and stop me. "Shall we begin, William?" William didn't hesitate. He roared and instantly shifted into his druid transformation. The battle began. William charged, clashing his mithril sword against the god's decaying claw. The sword, blessed with life magic, resisted the rot, but the impact sent tremors through William's arm. Sarah unleashed attacks, which chipped at Thwaisis' shadowy form, while Mona struck with blinding speed. Leo, with a fierce war cry, used magic to draw the god's attention, buying William a precious second. Thwaisis focused his rage. He swept his hands, and the surrounding cobblestones crumbled, releasing a wave of pure decay. Suddenly, a massive, unyielding wall of steel magic erupted from the ground, intercepting the wave and shielding Sarah. Abigail, battered but alive, jumped into the fray. "I'm not missing this fight," she yelled. Annoyed by the persistent mortals, Thwaisis focused his immense dark magic. He extended his hands, and chains of writhing shadow and rot bound every member of the group: William, Elizabeth, Sarah, Mona, Leo, and Abigail, pinning them to the crumbling earth. Thwaisis stalked toward William, raising his claw for the final strike. William struggled, the rot magic eating at his druid form, bringing him to the brink of death. Then a voice echoed clearly in his mind. "Get up." It was Willow, but I left her back at the manor. "Get up," Willow commanded again. As William struggled to open his eyes, he saw that Thwaisis was suddenly staggering back in pain. The god of death was wrapped tightly in glowing, green vines that were burning his shadowy form. "What's going on here?" William gasped. "I'm here to help you." Willow's voice resonated in his mind. "It's really dangerous, Willow. Please don't get hurt." "It's okay, William. Because of our bond, I am powerful. And what is death's weakness? Life. And what am I the most proficient at? Bringing new life into this world." "You're right, William. Flowers are alive, so I have very strong life magic thanks to you. Now get up and let's finish this." William stood, holding his sword for balance. With Willow's guidance, he lifted his hand and drew the immense life mana into his palm. It was a spectacular, beautiful vortex of rainbow colors, sparkling and crackling with divine power. Thwaisis regained his composure and turned to finish off William. Elizabeth, seeing the imminent danger, gathered what mana she had left and channeled it into one last, desperate attack, just enough to distract the god. A column of concentrated fire swirled around the god of death and decay. When the flames settled, Thwaisis was still standing, completely unaffected by the attack, though his attention had been diverted. Elizabeth then fell to the floor, completely exhausted. Seeing his new wife fall enraged William. His druid transformation surged, taking on a new, more powerful form. He was much larger and magnificent. Rune-encrusted antlers crowned his head. The runes on his chest glowed even brighter than before. "You can do this, William. We all have faith in you." Willow's voice was the only thing William could hear. Thwaisis launched one final, massive wave of decay, but it was too late. Willow and William's life magic was fully charged and ready. William released the shimmering, multicolored mana straight at Thwaisis. A large, agonizing scream echoed through the capital, indicating the attack had landed. William immediately fell to his knees, his own energy depleted. After the light cleared, Thwaisis was still alive, but his shadowy form was severely wounded and flickering. "You managed to hurt me, you lowly guardian," Thwaisis spat, his voice weak. "It doesn't matter now, because you are all going to die." Thwaisis raised his claw to strike the final, killing blow, but was suddenly stopped. Thick, magnificent golden chains descended from the heavens, wrapping around Thwaisis' arm and then his entire body. Chapter 43, A New Beginning. Thwaisis was suddenly rendered immobile, his agonizing scream cut short as the golden chains descended from the heavens and wrapped tighter around his essence. A being of impossible grace began to descend, an angel. She had snow-white wings, wore a white silky gown with golden inlay, and a shimmering halo floated atop her long, flowing brown hair. Her feet never touched the ground. In one hand, she held a set of scales, and in the other, an hourglass. "What are you doing here?" Thuisis cried out, rage mixing with terror. "I almost killed him." The angel spoke with an ethereal, melodic voice. "Thuisis, your actions have caused great disruption in the world. The scales are tipped too much, and we have to balance out the scale." The sand in the hourglass was running out. When the last grain fell, the angel spoke again, her voice ringing with finality. "Your time in this realm is over, Thuisis. For your sins against the balance, you will be eternally bound by these chains." The angel spread her massive wings, and radiant feathers drifted down, touching everyone who had been hurt. The feathers dissolved into a soft, glowing light that enveloped the heroes, instantly healing their wounds, mending torn clothes, and banishing their exhaustion. The angel spoke one last time. This should even the scale. With that, the angel began to ascend back into the heavens, dragging the howling, chained form of Thuisis with her. With their injuries healed and the god of death banished, the group began to move. William immediately went to Elizabeth, gently lifting her from the ground. She stirred, noticing the absence of Thuisis. "Did we win?" Elizabeth whispered, her voice weak but steady. William simply wrapped her in a fierce, protective hug, holding her tightly and unable to let go. Sarah finally came over, intending to break up the emotional reunion, but seeing them together, she gave up and wound up joining the embrace. "We really did it," Sarah said, a relieved laugh catching in her throat. William nodded, his voice thick with emotion. "Yes, we did." A few weeks later, after the chaos had settled, William and the party were summoned for a meeting with the new king, William's first uncle, Richard. King Richard spoke warmly, congratulating them for saving the capital, and indeed, the world. To honor their unparalleled service, Richard conferred significant titles and rewards. William and Elizabeth were both elevated, earning the respected title of Duke and Duchess respectively. Sarah's adventuring party, Mona and Abigail, were all promoted to A-rank adventurers and received a hefty gold reward. Leo was awarded the highest honor that could be given to a knight. William later gifted Leo and his family a large amount of farmland and materials around Fern Village, allowing Leo to officially retire and settle close to his old comrade. Most importantly, every member of the group, William, Elizabeth, Sarah, Mona, Abigail, and Leo, received the universal title of hero. After the momentous meeting, William and Elizabeth returned to Fern Village. Sarah and her party remained in the capital for a time to enjoy their fame and earn more money, while Leo retired happily to his new home in the growing town. A year later, William was standing in front of the magnificent world tree. Beside him stood Elizabeth, holding a brand-new silver-haired baby girl in her arms. Víðarr appeared, shimmering into existence. She smiled warmly at William and Elizabeth and gently placed her hand over the baby's forehead. "You have done well, William. You have saved this world and restored order to the chaos. I hope now you can enjoy your second life in this world." He looked at Elizabeth, then back at his new daughter, his heart swelling with a happiness he had never known. "I don't think that's going to be a problem." "What's the child's name?" Víðarr asked. William smiled, looking back to the beginning of his journey. "I wanted to go back to where it all started, to honor the person who gave me this new life." His voice was full of devotion as he announced the child's name. "Her name is Víðarr Fern."